Welcome to the Dentist Show. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to another episode of the Dentist Show. This is my, we got a little prettier co-host today with my wife, Raquel Davis. She's so excited to join us today.
So excited.
She said this might be the best day, second best day of her life. One was when she met me, maybe two when she married me, and three is when she gets the first episode.
It's up there.
On the Dentist Show. In this segment, we're going to call ACA, Ask Chase Anything. We've been extremely busy. Ryan was down here. We did just finish the doctor training for all of our doctors in Arizona, Washington, and Idaho. And then I've been really busy with the holidays. And so we couldn't line up another podcast. And it's been one I've been wanting to do. And who better else than Raquel to ask some common questions I get or I've heard from other dentists or people that don't know what I do. So she's going to ask them. But first, Raquel, where are you from? Let's get to know the one behind the scenes that makes it all work.
Yeah. West Valley City, Utah.
Remember when we were kids and they changed it to the Best Valley?
They tried, yeah.
They crossed out the W on the city hall, put a B.
Yeah.
And it's probably not the best. Probably not. We went to the same high school.
We did.
And which high school is that?
Hunter High School.
And she won't admit it to anyone, but she had a mad crush on me. It's the only class I remember having with her was physics, was Mr. Summerhays.
We did.
He was probably one of the better teachers in high school.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Well, let's rephrase that. He was the fun teacher of high school. I didn't learn squat in that class. Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
I did. I copied off you.
Oh.
Remember he used to have you pass the test behind or to the right or to the right, left?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you graded my test sometimes, and because you liked me, you gave me better grades.
It's not true.
It is true.
It's not true.
I have a perfect memory.
I would never cheat.
For me, you would. But we didn't know each other very well. Different circles of groups of friends.
Well, we had similar friends, but yeah, we never really hung out.
No. Didn't hang out. Yeah, it's common friends, but different groups.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the group of friends she didn't like.
Yeah, you weren't known as being the nice boys.
I disagree. We were the typical football players.
Yeah.
I played baseball too, but typical football player. And when did your crush start?
It's just so hard to pinpoint.
What's your favorite memory of high school besides me?
High school's like a blur. Honestly, I don't know.
So I asked one of my smaller office team if they liked high school or did not like high school, because I feel like most women do not like high school, and then most guys do or don't care either way. It was mostly most women still don't. I don't think they love it. The two did. 2 out of like the 6 said they loved it, and then 4 said no. And the question was kind of, would you want to repeat it if you could? Not know, like have a clean memory, just redo it. Would you want to do it? Yeah, only 2 said yes. So, anyways, would you want to redo it?
Not as it was.
No.
But maybe if you could do it different.
If you may learn from mistakes, what would you change besides me?
I don't know. Maybe be more involved. Maybe I would like it better. I went to school. I left school as soon as it was over.
Why?
I just didn't join anything.
Yeah, I think it's probably pretty common. You're maybe timid or shy or
I had no skills. So
you had skill. You do have skills.
I can't dance.
You could have.
Not sporty.
I've seen some softball photos of you with some massive bangs where the helmet didn't even come down. So I think you.
Yeah, do we want to talk about the black eye I got?
Yeah.
From that?
Yeah, she was an amazing athlete. I heard she even got a fly ball to the face.
I did.
You can't catch the ball with your face is what we used to say. 'Cause that happened like 3 times. I played baseball my whole life, and that happened at 3 different occasions. Not to me. I wasn't that bad. Just kidding. I was actually terrible. That was terrible. Anyways. Okay, well, that's a little about Raquel. She did go to college.
I did.
And you went to which schools?
Well, it was UVSC at the time.
So you actually went to 3.
Yeah.
Salt Lake Community College.
Salt Lake Community
That's where I
College,
went also. That's where I started.
Utah State.
Yep.
And Utah Valley State College.
And Utah State was the satellite school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Salt Lake Community College and then to University of Utah, then Ohio State. And UVSC, which is UVU now, is where she got her education at, or education degree. And she taught, closer, she taught 4th grade.
I taught 4th grade.
In Utah. When do they teach cursive?
3rd.
And so what's 4th grade in Utah? Utah history?
Utah history, the weather cycle.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And she taught at a school where you're probably the minority.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
More or less. Among the kids. It's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyways, she taught in Kearns. And then we moved to Ohio, had our first kid there. And then we have 2 kids here in Arizona. So 1 boy and 2 girls. Amazing. Anyway, so I convinced her because I thought this would be a fun segment. And we'll have Ryan on, probably do the same thing. Either him can do a solo or somebody can interview him. And maybe some common questions I get that somebody else is better to ask than me, ask myself. So I Raquel that convinced her and twisted her arm to be on the podcast and even on video. So if you haven't seen us, we're on YouTube. And someday we'll figure out the Spotify video for podcasts. But right now it's just video or audio. So, okay, let's hear the first question we have.
Okay. What is the biggest misconception people have about running a dental practice?
That's so like vanilla. Just kidding. I would say no one ever teaches you about a team in dental school, like your employees. In dental school, they teach you about dentistry and how to be a dentist and like how to do filling and lots of science that you forget everything about. And you like a lot of doctors will complain about there's no business school or like business. They don't teach that in dental school. And that's not, I mean, what they mean by that is not filing your taxes, not how do you buy equipment or buy dental supplies. It's how do you attract the best team and how do you keep the best team and how do you let go of team members that don't fit your culture and how do you cultivate a team that wants to be with you and to help you grow. Those are skills that dental school doesn't teach. I don't care. Most coaches are unable to teach that. Most consultants don't even try. And that's the thing that I think is the biggest misconception is that you just come out of dental school and your team just does what you think they should do, that they'll put the practice in front of their own priorities or, they'll put the practice first. And it's definitely not that case. Some do, and some will try to fight against it, and some will just hide in the corner. And so the dynamics is extremely difficult. And the biggest misconception, I would say, coming out of dental school, you just have no idea. And even when you have an associate, you have one relationship with your team. When you're a founder or a leader or an owner, you have a different relationship. And even when you do lead or like you're a newly practice owner, even then you don't quite get the dynamics because you're so worried about the dentistry. You're working 30, 40 hours a week trying to please patients. You forget there's this whole team that's just relying on you and your leadership. Anyways, so that would be my biggest, I think. What do you think?
All right. Well, why do you think dental schools don't go into that?
I think they have these requirements or just like checklists. And it's so like those that are going into dental school, your first 2 years of dental school are quite difficult. And it's because you're doing all the core sciences and you're trying to learn your hand skills. And both are difficult, Yeah. If you're really sciencey and that's easy, then your hand skills are going to be really difficult to learn because you're more comfortable studying out a book versus working hand skills. If you're really good with your hands and you're going more more likely you're going to struggle in the science classes because you'd rather just work on models and prep teeth and wax up stuff and stay out of the books because you're going to go where you're more comfortable with. But your first 2 years, you're learning both. Your third and fourth year in dental school is quite easy. And so I think and the third and fourth year, you're focusing on board exams. So that's the priority. And so even Ohio State, a lot of people complain like, we don't have any business classes. And I'm kind of the advocate for them. They actually do. And they actually had a study club. They had lunches. Nobody went because it wasn't the thing that they didn't care that they had to like pass a test, and then they had to pass boards, and they had to pass their written and boards and all that. So that was, and then they had to get licensed to get jobs. So that wasn't just a priority. So even if like the dental schools made it more of a priority, I don't think people would go. Yeah. They're just not like top of mind. Just like
think they can just figure it out later.
Yeah. I don't even think they know it. There's a level of ignorance that they don't even know they have to figure it out later. So even if they did, like our Ohio State had an accountant or a financial guy that taught the classes, and he was a wealth of information, and he actually helped me buy my first office, and nobody went, and he was the coolest guy, and he really set people up that would listen to him for success, and then still nobody went. So yeah, I think that's why. I think it's just not top of mind. It's not what I needed to do to pass school. It's just not there. So
back burner. So if you're not just fixing teeth all day, what are you doing? Like, what's your typical day? What do you do besides dentistry?
Yeah, I get that a lot now. And it is different. I work Mondays as a dentist, and then I sedate some patients for some of the doctors on different days. Or if I have a big surgery, I try not to do those Mondays because Mondays I help with hygiene, and my big surgeries kind of just want to be focused on that surgery. So, but pretty much I just work Mondays. What do I do the rest of the time? What do you think I do?
You're busy.
I know one of my friends says they go to work, but they just go watch movies and out to eat. Maybe I do that.
No.
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 You don't think I do? What do you think I do?
When you're working here?
Yeah, when I work.
You're like crunching numbers.
I'm the number cruncher.
I don't know. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I put on a good face. I think I'm crunching numbers. I'm actually just surfing the web. I'm watching TikToks.
Oh, okay.
And Instagram reels and YouTube videos.
Okay.
There's just different seasons. So sometimes it is running numbers. Right now I do a lot of it. I've been embezzled before. And so I try to we have so many offices. I try the best I can to form a method where I can cross-reference our bank accounts and day sheets each day. And eventually somebody else will do that, but I do that right now like a dork, pretty nerdy. And then we run numbers to make sure we're running online. Each practice is the same or similar, or if there's a weakness in one practice, where can we fix it in the other one, or how do we fix in one to fix it in another one, and stuff like that. So the other thing I do when I'm not at the house, because a lot of times she sees me on my computer here working, either here with her on the couch. I'm in my little office right now, but I also go into each office. I go in every office in Arizona each week, and I talk to team members and more or less be support for them. And then I talk to all the doctors every week and see how I can help. I'm willing to help them finish cases or work on difficult patients. And so I do that. I also at nights or whenever I look at more practices and always crunching their numbers and see where we can fit. I meet with my bank a lot, see where we can add more what can we or cannot do, because we have a relationship with them. But yeah, probably more busy work that a great personal assistant could do a lot of that for me, or like an administrative assistant. And we'll get there. But that's why I do a lot of that. And I was telling Matt, we may have mentioned Matt before, this weekend is he likes chaos. And he feels like if he's always busy, then he's had some tragedies happen to him. So if he feels like if everyone's like busy, then less tragedies happen, which is totally fake and not real. And so sometimes you'll know if if I'm not too busy, he says we can go to a movie during the day, go out to lunch, and we haven't done that in a while.
I haven't for a while.
Yeah, we've been swamped, so, and that means I'm busy. How many hours would you say at work a week?
70.
It's probably pretty close.
Okay.
70, 80, I think. Yeah. Because I sometimes will take a break, but then when we're watching a movie at home or watching the Suns game, or I'm using my laptop working. She likes puzzles. She reads. Raquel loves puzzling, reading.
Basically, I'm 80 years old.
The soccer mom. None of her kids play soccer, but she's constantly running kids around.
Yeah.
For one more year, because Mason's 15, so one more year.
Yeah, maybe he'll take over.
Okay, what you got next?
If a new dentist is listening, fresh out of school, what's the one financial mistake you see them make over and over?
They're all dentists, and I would be too worried about that, and I was because we got student loans for dental school, and to live on. So the number one financial thing that I was worried and stressed about was paying off my debt as soon as possible. I felt like that would give me freedom, and it does. It 100% does. And it doesn't make financial sense to pay it off typically because they're low interest rates, and we still do. And it does give some freedom there. So there's definitely some psychology there that it helps with. And that's good. And the most important thing you do is reinvest in yourself. So say if you learn how to do a procedure like your first year or 2 years out, you can make money from that procedure for 20, 30, or 40 years just by learning that one procedure when you're young. And that's why when I was young, I traveled a ton to go take classes.
You did.
I don't travel as much now taking classes, but I did. I missed a lot of time, a lot of weekends to go learn different skills and to help pay the bills. But that's the one I think that young dentist, if you could like reinvest maybe a few of those extra payments you're making towards your student debt, towards your CE, to you like benefit your future and your patient's health, it's so much better. I work with a doctor who's 65 years old, amazing dude, and we just did that class where we did the hands-on endodontics, and it was awesome. And so I thought he would struggle a little bit, and so I went in and we were just talking, and he hadn't started yet. And there's 14 teeth in his typodont, and they're all calcified teeth. I know you don't know what that means, but they're more difficult root canals. And so we were having him practice on with different burrs and piezoelectric tips, and so he hadn't started yet. I'm like, dude, this guy's a talker, When's he going to start? Because everybody else has like already accessed the tooth. And I went around, I was helping some other people, and then my friend was here, Shane, with endodontist, was helping, and I came back to him, and he had like 6 teeth prepped in like 10 minutes, and I was like, holy cow, he's flying. Yeah. And then I went back, and at the end of the day, we practiced like how to do apical surgeries, how to do retreats and repairs, stuff like this. And so he had to leave early, and I went through in his case, saw his typodont, and all 14 teeth were prepped. Most people only did 2, and his were like so good.
Wow.
Like he was just accessing teeth, worked up like the first part of the root canal and moved on. And most doctors just did 2. Some only did 1. There's a couple that did 3. He did 14 teeth, and he was like one of the better preps. So like all of his accesses were relatively nice for how deep the canals were. And I was like, man, that guy's like on his game. Most times when doctors get up in age, they tend to deteriorate a little bit, but that guy was on, and he contributes to CE. So that would be the same thing, because he's made mention. And it's funny that I think he must have listened to the same older guy I listened to, because we use similar language. Yeah. But he's definitely worked on his CE a lot, and his skills pay off, because not every 60-year-old dentist has his ability. So I'd go to, don't worry as much as your debt, and you can pay extra, but I'd worry about getting your skills as quickly as possible, because that frees up your future to like pay down debt quicker. But.
Very nice. Marketing. It's not just those toothbrushes you give away. How do you actually attract new patients in today's world?
We actually stopped. We have 8 offices, 8 locations, and 6 of them we stopped giving them out because we were cheap.
toothbrushes?
toothbrushes.
Oh, okay.
And we actually stopped because a lot of our patients have electric toothbrushes.
Oh.
And so they just take them for travel and honestly, it was just like, we were during COVID, and it's like we are getting surcharged for everything. We need to like cut back somewhere, and that's where we decided to cut back. Was it's kind of silly. They're like $1 or $1.20 per patient. It's still like $20,000 a year in one office. So, anyways, we stopped doing toothbrushes, and so that question doesn't pertain to us.
Okay, well then how do you market?
So we were fortunate with our first office, Chandler Dental, and we hired a website developer. I forget his name, but it was John. Prominent Web Design. Oh man, he just came back to me. That's an old company though. He's still around, but so I acquired the practice. Chandler Dental. I thought had a great name. This was in 2013, and so I thought it had a great name. SEO is we've ranked like on the 4th or 5th page of Google. John from Prominent Web Design helped our website. And we don't use them anymore, though. It's been probably 8 years. We're on our 4th version and working on our 5th version of website. And I think he did something. He said I include SEO. I don't think anyone should charge for it, and so he did. And our website went to like the top right away. So if you Googled Chandler Dentist or 85224 Dentist, we were it, and we still are. And we pay this SEO company, and they don't do anything. They haven't improved it at all. And that John guy did a great job from 12 years ago. So that was one. And then two, we were the first big one in Chandler that had a bunch of reviews. So we had some really nice patients that left Yelp reviews, and Yelp was really big 8 to 10 years ago. And so we were one of the few dental offices that had great Yelp reviews, and then that turned over to Google reviews. And so we marketed a little bit, but most of it was all word of mouth. And we actually struggle with some of our other offices now. Everything we used in the past just kind of stopped working. So now we're trying to turn to like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook ads. But word of mouth's the best. How do you find like your doctor?
Same. Ask people.
Ask people, just referrals.
Yeah, I don't want to just pull one name at random. But if one person tells me they like them, then I'll give them a try.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's the hardest marketing, and when you have a bunch of people, it's a snowball. Like if you have a lot of people referring you, because it's not like that one person's only going to refer you, but they're going to refer everybody they know. If someone asks them, if they ask for who's your OB, and that person's going to tell everybody the same answer, and then you're going to say the same answer. And what we found at especially Chandler Dental is we had the snowball going where we first took over, we had like 8 new patients a month, and now we have 180 a month. And we're trying to switch it where we don't get that many, we get better quality ones. So that'd be a number one marketing, I think. It's just, and it's hard to do as a young dentist. It's not as easy because when 2013 SEO was more or less young at the game, and now all the domains are taken of your city. So you just can't try to play that game. So, anyways, a little harder.
Yeah.
What do you think we'll wrap it up a little bit. So I got a question.
Okay.
Going deep question. What do you think the cost of the success we've had is?
What does that mean?
So what do you think like what we have now, of the practices, of the equity, the money that comes in?
Yeah.
I've always felt like there's a cost to success. Like you just can't give up something and gain something, or you can't just give up nothing and gain something. So what do you think the cost has been to the family, you, the kids, to me, for the success we've had?
Probably just the time away when you were doing all those CEs.
Yeah. There's a lot of when the kids, my justification, I was kidding with the doctors, is when the kids were really young, I was like, I don't like them that much. Just,
Because they're boring.
They're boring. You just get to hold them or change their diapers, and Raquel is really good at the diapering changing game.
So good.
So good. So decided then I was I'm just going to do as much CE, try to build my practices as big as possible. So when the kids are now at this age, we could do more fun things.
Yeah.
Although I still work a ton, but I was able to coach Mason's basketball games or teams, and
Yeah.
whatever it be. We are still at all their events. That's it. It's time away.
Yeah. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I thought you can say I was fat. The cortisol
No.
caught up to you.
Nope. I was not going to say
The
that.
the stress eating, you're just a little fat little bald guy. Or like, do you think I'd have hair if I wasn't so successful?
No, I do not.
Shane, do you remember that picture of us going to the Colts game in college? We both had Aeropostale shirts on.
Kinda.
Do you? He showed that at our doctor conference.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that is why I shaved my head. That's so.
It was
It was so thin. It was
Pre-shaved?
like puffy, But it was so like thin.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
happens.
not just less hair, but my hair was very thin. Like Brinley's and your hair is like super thick. My hair is like thin and not
Well,
dense.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if mine's super thick. I just have
No,
a
it's
good
thick.
amount of it.
It's thick. It's strong. Mine's weak.
Okay.
So one day, the running joke, 'cause I know you don't listen to my podcast,
Thank
is I'm going to come with a wig that's
I've heard.
glued on my head,
I've heard.
and I'm going to be who am I going to be?
Keith Urban.
You know?
You want shoulder length,
Yes.
shoulder length locks. so you
I'm going to
can-
have a ponytail, man.
Oh,
Don't say ugh. It's going to be. You're going to be like.
oh, ponytail.
You're going to be so much more in love with me. With my phony, greasy hair.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to love it when I go into office one day and he's have a big old thick hair.
I won't recognize you.
I can't imagine walking in the Cape Creek office. That's relatively new.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you just have a bunch of hair. They're like,
You're
who
just
is
like
he?
flicking
Who's
it
this
over
guy?
your shoulder.
Yeah. I'm going to cut it like Brinley so it like goes behind my ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
I might cut it in your sleep, but
I never had a ponytail before. It's going to happen.
there's a reason.
I think I gotta thin out a little bit and then ponytail it up. I'm like a surf bum. It's like one of those successful like 50-year-old sleazy guys. You could you could see that, right?
It's a great dream.
That's what I'm working for. That's why I do what I do. What else you gotta share for the world? We get about like 50,000 followers.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
You're so awesome.
It's so fun. Okay, what do you say, like our family that's listening? Because that's about all we got so far.
Just that you're just amazing.
Thank you. I was waiting for that.
You're just the best. Best dentist, best guy.
Yes. Say more.
What else was I supposed to say?
Tell me about that. Will you tell me more about that? This is the woman that makes it happen. I've neglected
No.
her. I've left her with 3 crazy kids,
No.
and she holds it together. She's the one that's always the smooth one, calm one,
No, I don't think so.
patient and loving. Even when I lost my hair, and she got mad when I shaved my head, and then even when I have like a dandruff beard, she's okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, she's okay. As long as I cover my fat face, she's good. As long as I look like I'm riding my Harley. Anyways, well, that was a pretty good episode. You're not too scary,
Yeah, well,
so we'll get you on for the next one. The ACA, or it should be ACRA. Ask Chase and Raquel
yeah.
anything. Anyways, that was our episode.
Super boring.
Thank you for joining us. Thanks for Raquel for helping me out.
You're welcome.
I know I just checked off something on her to-do list, her dream list, her bucket list.
No, I said I wouldn't do this, and yet here I am.
Yeah, see the wonderful things you get to do being married to me. Just walking through those awkward doors with me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you for helping me. Okay, join us next time when maybe Ryan will be back or we might have another special guest. So thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to The Dentist Show. We hope that this episode helped you make smiles about more than teeth. To get more resources to grow as a dentist and to learn more about Chase and Ryan, go to thedentistshow.com or just follow the link in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, share with another dentist in your life and help us grow the movement. And be sure to rate and review wherever you're listening.